straight up, and I think it will come down to this last engagement. Hawk deciding not to be aggressive here with his roaches. He is going to stay back and just use them as defensive roaches. I think it's very wise, and one Ling actually making his way into a main base, going to scout everything that there is. He knows that the lair is done, but his own lair is already done. Missile attack level 1 for Hawk, so he will have that slight upgrade advantage just for a while, but now vibe is producing 13 roaches and has a lot of Lings and banelings. His army is going to be superior, and Hawk actually going for a Spire. Very particular choice here in ZVZ. That choice is triggered, by the way, by these close air distances that will make it a lot easier for these mutas to harass, but I mean, and this third base is very far away, I'll give him that, but Hydras counter mutas so easily. You really have to catch your opponent off guard with these roaches, and fortunately for Hawk, there is only an Evo Chamber just now finishing, so there won't be any Spore Crawlers for at least a moment here, and unless vibe actually scouts this with the Overlord, he will be caught off guard, and he has no anti-air besides 1 queen per base, but that won't be enough for now. So we'll just have to wait and see if vibe actually scouts this. He is getting an infestation pit, so that could play a huge role here in countering these mutas. The Spire is now 20 seconds away from finishing. You can see that third base is also up by Hawk. He actually pulled very far ahead in the Harvester tab. These roaches are going to make their way across the map to the third base, though. The roach speed is not yet done. Is it even started? Yes, it is done. These roaches seem kind of slow. I guess it's just me, or my computer lagging a bit, because I am streaming and doing a lot of things at the same time, recording and playing StarCraft at high settings. And 8 mutas now gonna pop up. Will they come in time to actually clean up these roaches? Mutas take forever to clean up roaches. These roaches are so bulky that they can still do a lot of damage, even though the mutas can't be shot by them. And now this Overseer gonna scout this base. He knows I think that vileHawk, I don't know what he's actually transferring the workers back. He is going to engage here. Vibe is going to engage this third base, so that is why the workers are being transferred. He will sack this base, and I wonder if this is wise. He could have actually stalled these roaches with his own roaches until the mutas came, but he is playing it safe. He knows that if he loses this army, he will be very vulnerable to any kind of counterattacks, or even Hydras in this game. Hydras, that's what I was looking for. Still no Hydra Den, though by vibe this infestation pit he feels is going to be enough, and as I say that, he is throwing down his Hydra Den, so making me eat my own words. A lot of Spore Crawlers going down on all his bases, so he will be ready. These mutas won't be able to do much damage. They will be able to pick off this queen at least, maybe hack away at this hatchery without getting shot, but they won't be able to harass that mineral lines too much because of all those Spore Crawlers. They are now going up on all the main bases of vibe, so vibe is still very much in the lead here. These mutas are giving Hawk map control for now, but once these Hydras pop and the Infestors come, I mean, there is not much he can do unless he has a lot of mutas, and that's why you don't usually see a lot of mutas in ZVZ play, because they are so ineffective. If your opponent actually scouts them, he is going to be able to pick off 3 Overlords here, so small victory by Hawk. And he has the supply advantage, but these mutas are not very good in an army, and with the Infestor advantage and a few Hydras, I do think that vibe still has a lead in this game. Now just getting that third base, as vibe actually does have the economic advantage as well. These Overlords are going to get picked off once again. These Fungals could be huge though on the Mutalist. If he's not careful, he does trap 5 mutas, and with more Fungals and those 2 queens, he will be able to kill them quite easily. So losing 5 mutas for absolutely nothing here is not a good thing by Hawk. Nice transfer by vibe here on his queen. And let's take a peek at his APM. It's actually not as high as you would expect, but still 245 average is quite high, even for a pro player. And he is just going to start booming forward here with his third base being up and running for so long. He is going to have quite a few Hydras, 10 in production, and as soon as those Hydras pop, he will be able to attack, move forward and attack. These fungal growths could devastate this army. Remember, they do 20% extra damage to roaches now, so 30% versus armored units. 36 plus 30%, that's math I can't even do, but these roaches, even though they are very beefy, that fungal growth rate will soften them so much, and with his own roaches and hydras to support his infestors, vibe will be able to plow through this army. Hawk is approaching max army right now, and I'm surprised he still doesn't have an infestation pit. He has stopped Mutalisk production, wisely so, but I mean, these infestors are just going to do so much damage once these armies engage, and it looks like we are going to get an engagement here. These lings are in front, going to start hacking away these front roaches. These have to back off because the fungals could actually just lock them in, turning back and getting a few shots at these lings before engaging. He is going to get the high ground advantage. A nice split here by Hawk. Going to wait for Vibe to actually engage here. He does want the nice better concave, and that is a must. If he is going to engage this army, he really needs a superior positioning. These two roaches going to move forward, peek at what's coming. These infestors are leading the charge, going to be able to fungal this whole army, lock it in place, and do huge damage. There it goes. There is the huge engagement. Vibe actually has a nice positional advantage. These infestors now throwing down fungals a bit late. A few infestors in the back, going to save the fungals to soften up these roaches even more. You can see all these roaches in the orange already. As the Hydralisk doing huge damage in the back, and Vibe will win this battle hands down. I mean, there is no way that Hawk can even retreat at this point with these fungal growths. If he tries to retreat, he will just be locked down, so might as well just keep pressing this advantage and do as much damage as he can. Some infested Terrans being thrown down by Vibe to deal with the Mutalisk. And this is actually a lot closer than I thought, but still Vibe does have the advantage with the Hydras in back. And there goes Hawk deciding to retreat. Having used up all that infestor energy, he is able to retreat and get to the safety of that spine crawler, but I mean, Vibe will just be able to remax so much faster. You can see he actually got the supply advantage at this point. Burrow coming up for these two players, as well as attacks level 2. Still 11 roaches in production for Hawk and 2 infestors for Vibe. He has produced a lot of roaches here that are just now joining up with the main army. He will go for that third base once again. If he can kill this third base again, he will get that advantage and he will be able to win this game. So it will come down to positioning once again, but this army just won't cut it. As soon as more infestors join this army, it will be good game. I mean, roaches only, even though they can burrow, fungal does reveal them when they are burrowed, and with the Hydras in back here, these if he's not careful, these roaches are actually going to get spotted while they're burrowed. There are infestors here, and actually Vibe decides to not engage. He will go for his gold base instead, being able to transfer he will be able to transfer all these drones to the gold base and start mining from there. And I'm surprised he's not getting Hive just yet. He is going to stick to this tier 2, start picking away at overlords just to keep Hawk in the dark. Vibe is now maxed compared to 173 supply from Hawk. He is supply blocked right now, and this could be very dangerous. Hawk just now getting his own Hydras. There are groove spines not done just yet, and Vibe was just waiting for that +2 attack to finish before engaging this. Hawk's army is actually out of position. He's going to go for a counterattack here, while Vibe is actually going to move into the third base. No, Hawk decides to move back. The Hydra's leading the way. That's not what you want. They have to stay in back. wisely pulling them back just a bit, getting a nice concave here. This engagement is going to be huge, but Vibe with those fungal growths will actually get the advantage, and I think it is going to be GG right after this engagement. Hawk, there is no way he is going to hold off this attack. You can see all those roaches and hydras already in the deep orange, while Vibe's army is still all in the green. He will be able to clean this up and take out the third base. And we are going to go into game 3 here, guys, between Hawk and Vibe. The winner, remember, will be able to go on in this tournament to win $2,000 in prizes for the top 8. So this isn't just for fun. This does have money on the line. And we are going into game 3. This is going to be loser's pick. So Hawk will pick his favorite map. So he does start off with a slight advantage. But expect a GG anytime soon, guys. This is just so many units for Vibe. He is already remaxed. He is now doubling supply of his opponent. And there it is. We are going into game 3, so tune in.